more, two or more forces pulling in different directions to create the same outcome. Okay? So in the case of scapular rotation, upper trapezius, lower trapezius, serratus anterior. So you see how they're pulling in different directions. Okay, they're pulling in different directions, but we're going to get the same outcome. Okay, that's the working definition of a force couple. That's why that biomechanics is important. Okay, so the definition is going to be muscles pulling in different directions to accomplish the same motion. And there's that picture again. Okay. So let's just further defines it, what your muscles are for upward rotation. So the net effect is upward rotation. So you see how we've got 3 different directions at least. Our net effect is that upward rotation. Okay, so our force couples for downward rotation. Oh, there's a look in there. Oh. Okay. So here we've got levator scapula pulling up, pectoralis minor, so that's actually attaching on the coracoid process, so that's pulling from the front. And the rhomboids are pulling this way. Okay, so that creates that downward rotation. Okay. Okay, so we know this, right? That's what we've been talking about all morning, is shoulder stability. Okay? We've talked a little bit about the glenoid labrum and the glenoid fossa. Fossa being really, really shallow, and the labrum adding a little depth to that. Okay, another way that we add some stability then is that joint capsule. So we've got a coracohumeral and glenohumeral ligament. Okay, so there's one ligament that comes from the coracoid process and one that comes from the glenoid. So like 2 little ligaments that are holding that in place. So like somebody that dislocates a shoulder oftentimes tears those ligaments. Okay, so then that makes it tougher to stabilize that shoulder, doesn't it? So typically somebody that's been a shoulder dislocator is likely, they're at risk for doing it again and again and again. Okay, so if you have a patient that gives you a history that says, I've dislocated my shoulder 3 times, when I was a teenager or whatever, find out which direction they dislocated in, and you're not going to push them hard that way because they're going to be easy to pop out again. Okay?
And is that something that has to be, like, that's not just an easy pop back in thing, is it?
It can be.
It can be, but it's not comfortable. And you don't necessarily want to be the one to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Well, it's awful, but it's also, like you need an ortho to do it, to
Do it right.
cover your hiney.
Yeah.